Hello Hunt Chef Nation. Today we are cooking black grouper fresh from the Gulf of Mexico, and I couldn't be more excited about it. We're going to do basically a summer vegetable stew, ratatouille kind of vegetable risotto. We've got a little bit of potato that we're going to cook in there and help bring a little bit of that together. We've got some great lemon aioli that we're going to finish it off with, but these fillets are absolutely gorgeous and I cannot wait to get them in the pan. You're watching Hunt Chef on Mountaintop Outdoors, and remember, always eat what you kill. Now we're starting to make our summer vegetable stew for our grouper fillets. I've started some red potatoes in here and some olive oil already. We're gonna let these guys just start to soften just a bit more. But while we're doing that, they're cut small enough, I think it'll all cook about the same. We've got carrot, red bell pepper, garlic, red onion is gonna go in next. After that, mushrooms, jalapenos, zucchini, and broccoli. And we're gonna finish it all up with fresh sweet corn, asparagus, and some fresh tomatoes. So we're gonna go ahead in here now. We're gonna cook all these guys together, and we'll just basically do it in stages, starting with what takes the longest to cook, which would be the potatoes and the carrot and onion. Just a little bit of that delicious olive oil to coat everything. We don't want to get a lot of color on the vegetables, but if we do get some, it'll be just fine. We want to keep those light, bright, fresh summer flavors to accent our black grouper. We've got the second round of our veggies going in, the zucchini, the jalapeno, and broccoli and mushrooms. So we're just going to add it in stages so that, the hardest ones that take the longest to cook are finished just at the same time as the ones we're going to barely cook. And just keep working these guys around and babysit a little bit, and it is going to turn out delicious. So we've got the last of our veggies to add to our stew, the corn, tomatoes, and the asparagus. Everything else is coming along nicely, and you can see lots of color, lots of flavor, and we're going to cook it all just till it's a little more tender, and we'll be ready to serve our grouper right over top of it. We've got our summer vegetable stew on its way. We're going to take these grouper fillets, and I cut them big to use the grill, but today outside it's not exactly a grill kind of day, so I'm going to cut these guys into thinner fillets that'll cook much more quickly and evenly in our saute pan. And we're going to go ahead and season these now with some kosher salt and black pepper. And we're going to get these guys in the pan, and then we've got some bread that we've baked and have ready. And once we take the grouper out of the pan, we're going to put these guys in and toast both sides, and we're going to use our lemon aioli to put that on as a really classic condiment to the fish and the vegetable stew. So our stew is cooking along beautifully, and we're going to put a little bit of vegetable oil in here and get our grouper fillets started. Not too much, but they're so lean you want to make sure you have enough that oil in the pan to get them a nice color on them. We're going to take the heat up on this, and we're going to go ahead and start these gorgeous fillets right here in the pan next to our vegetable stew. I love grouper. When I used to cook in Palm Beach in Florida back in the early 90s at the Breakers and Four Seasons Hotel, I was first introduced to grouper. I fell in love with it immediately, whether it's as an entree like this, condiment on a salad, or as a sandwich. I've liked grouper for a long time, and I really hope you all are going to enjoy this dish today. So I've talked about this vegetable stew a lot. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. The olive oil is delicious. It's got a little bit of a pepper back finish to it as well. Extra virgin from Spain, and it is a really key part to this stew. A little bit of salt, a lot of fresh natural flavors there. I've got actually a little bit of ground cumin here that I think is going to accent this dish really nicely. Not too much to overpower, just enough to be there. And then of course some fresh ground black pepper, and in about 2 more minutes of cooking, that is going to be ready to hit the plate. It's all coming together. We've got the great summer vegetable stew. We're going to go ahead and turn over our grouper fillets. They're nice and thin, so they're cooking really quickly in the pan. We got them seasoned with the sea salt and the black pepper. And we are almost ready to put this dish together and show you how it all looks. And I can't wait to taste it. We're finally ready to put our black grouper dish together with our summer vegetable stew. And we've got a lot of great flavors going on. We made a little extra of the stew because it's great and it goes a long way. And you can make this into omelets in the morning or as a side dish for dinner later. But lots of color, lots of flavor. Everything from the potatoes all the way up to the asparagus tips has cooked very nicely here in this dish today. I couldn't really be much happier with it at this point. I did give it a little taste test and it's really good. I finished it with some fresh green onion. So now we go ahead and arrange some of our grouper fillets here. You know, a lot of the presentations I do are based, you know, on a bigger portion, a bigger plate, you know, because as sportsmen, outdoorsmen, family people, you know, we want to bring people together through food. So that's why a lot of times the portions that you see that I do here for the show are on the bigger side like this, because we want to encourage that, you know, sharing the harvest, enjoying the harvest, and bringing everybody together around it. Now, so we've got our toasted bread, and we've got a little bit of my lemon aioli. Not too much, but a little. I'm gonna add a little nice richness to the toast on the bread. Kind of like butter, but different. Very European-inspired dish here. As I said earlier, this extra virgin olive oil is really tasty. It's got that peppery backbite to it, and we're gonna give the whole plate a little bit of that. We've got the lime wedges there as an option to lighten things up even more. I had a little bit of aged balsamic vinegar. We're gonna add it to the whole thing. It's gonna go really well with the toast and the vegetables. I'm just gonna put that whole sprig of fresh basil in there because it looks so good. And a little bit of more green onion and a little bit of pecorino romano, especially on the toast, just to accent that aioli. And there you have black grouper with fresh summer vegetable stew and the grilled bread with lemon aioli. You're watching Hunt Chef on Mountaintop Outdoors. And remember, always eat what you kill.